going to see a static problem. Static problem means all the masses lie on the same plane. Okay, so let us start. Please have your scale, pencil, protractor, everything ready. If possible, you can use your KOM notebook also. No problem. Okay, so let us read the question. Four masses M1, M2, M3, and M4 are the values of the masses are given. Okay, so magnitude M1 is 200 kg, M2 is 300 kg, M3 is 240, M4 260 respectively. Corresponding radii of rotation R1 is 0.2, R2 is 0.15, R3 0.25, R4 is 0.3. Okay, respectively. And the angle between the successive masses are, so one thing you have to understand here, successive means which is the first mass, A or B or C or D, it is not mentioned, you can take any one. But don't change the order. If you start with A, it should go from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. If you start from B, it should go from B to C, C to D, D to A. Okay. So normally we go with A. We start with A. Okay. Angle between the successive masses are 45 degrees. So first I am going to take A as the first horizontal mass because it is not mentioned which is horizontal. You can take starting point, you can take A. This diagram itself we are going to draw in graphical method. So at that time I will clearly tell you. In the same problem we are going to do next step. Okay. So from there 45 degree first mass, from this 45-degree line, next mass is located at 75 degree. From there the next mass is located at 135 degree. So that is the given data. Okay. Angle between the successive masses are 45, 75 and 135. Find the position and magnitude of the balance mass required if radius of rotation is 0.2 for the balancing mass. Okay. This 0.2 is the radius of rotation of the balancing mass whose magnitude and direction is unknown. Okay. So with this we are going to start the problem. I'm going to list down the given data. Okay, M1, M2, M3, M4, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4. These are the data here. Okay. First we will do this by analytical method. Then we will do this by graphical method. It is a static problem. Okay. Because all the masses lie on the same plane of rotation. So let M equal to balancing mass, theta equal to direction of the balancing mass. We don't know this. We are keeping it as unknown value M theta. Since the magnitude of the centrifugal forces are proportional to the product of each mass and its radius, so as I told you earlier, we are eliminating the omega square, m omega square r. Okay, so that is the centrifugal force value. But we are eliminating the omega square because all the omega square are equal. So if you eliminate that, these answers are proportional and are very legible to be used in calculation. So M1 R1 200 into 0.2, 40 kilogram meter. I am going to find out the moment, mass into perpendicular distance. Okay, moment. M1 R1, M2 R2 300 into 0.15, 45. So M3 R3 240 into 0.25, 60. M4 R4 260 into 0.3. So what does this tell you? 200 kg mass at a radius of rotation 0.2. 300 kg at 0.15 meter radius. 240 at 0.25. 260 at 0.3 radius. So these are the given masses. So the problem may now be solved either analytically or graphically. So this one problem alone I am going to do by analytical method also, just to give you a feel of what is analytical method. So from tomorrow we will do only graphical method. Okay. So first analytical method solution. So this is the given condition. So space diagram or angular position diagram. So in graphical method you have to construct this diagram geometrically. Okay. So resolving horizontally. So horizontal forces M1 R1 cos theta 1, M2 R2 cos theta 2, M3 R3 cos theta 3, M4 R4 cos theta 4. So substitute all the values, you know M1 R1 theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4. Everything you substitute inside these numbers. Okay. So M1 R1 we have already multiplied and we have kept the answers in the last page, right? So M1 R1, M2 R2, M3 R3, M4 R4. So these four numbers are directly substituted here: 40, 45, 60, 78. So these things we have just multiplied in the last slide. So theta 1 is the horizontal I am taking. Next from there, next is 45 degree. From there, next is 120. From there, next is 255. So please carefully listen here. The angle is substituted as a cumulative angle from the horizontal every time. Okay. How it is given in question? From here it is 45. From here it is 75. 135. Likewise the angle was given. But what is the angle you are substituting here? Look at it carefully. Whatever the angle you are substituting should be again start from horizontal. Cumulative angle from the horizontal. I am adding these two. 45 plus 75, 120 degree. 45 plus 120 plus 135 is 255 degree. Those cumulative angles I am substituting in calculation. Only for analytical method this is. Okay. So the answer comes around 21.6 kilogram meter is the resultant moment I need. I don't know the actual mass or radius, but radius is known, but the mass is unknown. Okay. So now resolving, this is the horizontal force only. Okay. Vertical forces, sine theta. Same things. M1 R1 is same, just sine theta also same, just sine function around changes. So this comes around 8.5 kilogram meter. Okay. So resultant force is sigma horizontal 21.6, sigma vertical 8.5. Resultant is square root of 21.6 plus 8.5 squares. So that is 23.2 kilogram meter. Right. So this is your M into R. M into R, which is unknown. Okay. So radius of rotation of the balancing mass is 0.2. So M into R is 23.2. Therefore M is equal to 23.2 by 0.2. 116 kilogram. What is the direction? I think you are following what I am telling, right? If you are unable to understand the analytical method, don't worry. Graphical is very easy. So direction of this mass, where I have to put this, in which theta I have to put this, that I am going to find out. Tan theta equal to. So now first what I am going to find out is the direction of the resultant force. What this formula gives you. Okay. Direction of the balancing mass is plus 180 degree. That you have to remember always. Don't forget. Okay. Whatever answer you are going to get with these formulas, plus 180 will give you the resultant force direction. Opposite, diametrically opposite, you put the balancing mass. Okay. So tan theta equal to sigma v by sigma h. So that is, so tan inverse of will gives you 21.48 degree. So plus 180 degree is the balancing mass direction. Okay. 180 plus 21.4, 201.48 degree. Right. So that is the end of your analytical method. So only one answer for this problem. Balancing mass is 116 kilogram. Direction is 201.48 degree theta. The same thing I am going to find out using graphical method, using scale and pencil. Okay. Graphical method. Magnitude and position of the balancing mass may also be found graphically as discussed below. First of all, draw the space frame diagram or angular position diagram. Okay. So since the magnitude of centrifugal force are proportional to the product of each mass and its radius, therefore M1 R1 same thing again. M1 R1, M2 R2, all these values are tabulated. With this I am going to do the force polygon. Okay. So now I am going to start the angular position, construction of the angular position diagram. So have your scale and pencil, just follow me what I am doing. Okay. So this figure in the question is our reference. It may not be given, angles are given to you, but here in this problem it is given, we will make use of it. So first mass I am taking as A. A is 200. Okay. So I am taking in order A, B, C, D. So this is my balancing mass, unknown value. Okay. This is what I am going to find out how much. Right. So for this I am going to do vector construction. Right. So please take your scale pencil. Let's start the problem. So these values also you have to keep in mind. M1 R1, M2 R2, M3 R3, M4 R4. Now I am going to construct the angular position. The same diagram. Okay, the same diagram I am going to construct here to scale. So scale means only here the length is not important. Okay. This length is not important here. The angles are very important. You have to do it properly. Because we are going to use this diagram only to move the angles to the force polygon. Okay. So like we used to do a velocity triangle, velocity acceleration diagram. Just take the direction from the first diagram, configuration diagram, and you do the velocity below, right? Similarly, the angles are very important here. The length of this line is not important here in this particular case. Okay. So let us start. Take your scale, place it on the paper. What is the first value? M1 R1. This is the mass A. Okay. Mass A has 40 kilogram meter moment, mass into radius. So I am going to put the scale in the horizontal position. This I am going to draw now. Horizontal position. Okay. So let us take 40 mm. 1 kilogram meter equal to 1 millimeter scale I am taking. So 40, I am keeping 2 dots. Put your scale on the paper like this and put 2 dots and draw a line. What is the direction of this force? Can one of you tell me what is the direction of the force? What sort of force is created here when a mass is rotating around the shaft? Can anybody answer? What sort of force is created? Are you people hearing me? At least one of you tell that you don't know, I'll answer. Am I in the connection? See, I cannot see the messages. Please tell me. One of you can open the mic and talk. No, it is centrifugal. Okay, right. So you are hearing me, right? That's what I wanted to know. See, when a mass is rotated fast, it gives you centrifugal force. Centrifugal is always directed away from the center, okay, towards the mass. So this is the direction of your force. That arrow mark carries a separate allocation of marks in your exam. Okay, so put the direction mass A m1 and then you have to put the direction also, right? It is not required here. It is just an angular position diagram. In the vector diagram, you have to put the arrow marks. Okay. So next, from there, next is a 45 degree, and the third one is at 120 degree. From the 45 again another 75. Okay. So put a protractor like this on the center, right? Now I am going to measure the 45 degree for the mass 2 and the 75 degree for the mass 3 from the 45 degree. Okay. So first is put the 45 degree dot here. Then 75 from this 45 is actually total 75 plus 45 is 120. Okay. Totally 120 from the base horizontal. So 120 degree. Two angles you mark and then remove the protractor. Just connect these lines. Okay, so the second position, 45 degree position is your mass m2. The third one is your mass m3. So are we clear up to this? Now I am going to draw the fourth one. Are you people trying to do this, or see, this will not work if you don't draw. You cannot straight away go and do it in the exam. You need a lot of practice. So what shall we do? Maybe I will give you the recording of this. You can follow the video. If I keep waiting for you to draw, this class will never end. We cannot do even one problem. So the last one, mass 4, 260 kg mass, is at a cumulative angular position of 255 or 135 degree. Let us take 255 degree totally from the mass 1 line, horizontal, first horizontal line. I have to draw a 255 degree. I have to mark. So therefore subtract 180 from that. If you subtract 180 from that, what will happen? You can put the protractor upside down. Okay. Now 180, 255 minus 180 comes around 75 degree, right? So now from the horizontal, so I have already covered 180 degree. Okay. So from here another 75 degree makes 255. That's how I am going to, because you cannot altogether take 255 with a protractor. So now mark 75 degree position. 75 means what? So 180, 75 means 105. So mark your line at 105 degree. So this is 255 degree cumulatively from the horizontal line. Okay. So that is your mass 4. Now this is my angular position diagram. What is very important in angular position diagram is the designation of the masses m1, m2, m3, m4. You should mark this round. You can do with just your bare hands. It need not be a proper circle. Just put the line. The angle is very important. The angle should be very correct. Pakka. Okay. The inclination 45 degree should be perfect. From there 75 should be perfect. From there 135 should be perfect. That's what you are going to use out of this diagram. Okay. So now after this, very important thing, designate the masses m1, m2, m3, m4. You should definitely mark. Don't forget. Then you have to mark the angles. That is very important. This, if you do all this, you will get full mark for the angular position diagram. So this is 45, this is 75, and this is 135. You can add up and find the cumulative wherever you want. So that is the end of your angular position diagram. So any doubts up to this? Any clarification you want, you can ask now. Or shall I move on to the next step of the problem? Clear? Okay. So this is the first step in the graphical solution. First I have drawn the angular position diagram. Very simple. Whatever is the given data, I am going to put those masses. Here we are not concerned about the radius. Okay. So whether this is 15, whether this is 30, that is not really important here because that data we are not going to use from this. For that I am going to construct the force polygon next. Okay. So with this we are going to do the next step, construction of force polygon, vector polygon. Okay. So this construction is entirely dependent on the angular position diagram you have drawn just now. With that only you are going to take angles. Okay. So keep it here. So you are going to do the force polygon by the side of the angular position diagram. You have to move the scale from the diagram only. Okay. So also these four things you have to remember. So this is the magnitude of the vectors you are going to draw. So for mass 1, the centrifugal force value is 40 in this direction. Okay. So for mass 2, 45 kilogram meter in this direction. For mass 3, 60 kilogram meter in this direction. Mass 4, 78 kilogram meter in this direction. Okay. Now this angle is very important. You should not make any mistake in moving the scale. Okay. Now let us start doing the force polygon. Right. I am going to start. Take your scale and place it like this. I am going to start the horizontal. Just I am going to check. See, just for reference sake, I am putting the scale there. Next one, the inclination you are going to take. Right. We'll see that when it is coming. You take this direction of mass m1, that is horizontal, and move the scale here. So for 40, I am going to take 40 straight away. So 40, 1:1, 40. You draw a line. And what is the direction? Outward direction, pointing towards the mass. This direction arrow mark you have to draw here. As soon as you draw the first line, you draw the arrow mark. Okay. So this is A, this is your B, and this is your arrow mark. Clear? So are you clear what did I do? I have transferred the direction of mass m1, the radius, the linking rod, right? So this is your mass m1. Okay, some stone of mass m1 is linked to the rotating shaft through a rod. This direction of this rod is transferred here. What is the tension in the rod? That is given here. Okay. Next step, take your scale again and put it in this direction. Okay, if you have a L scale, then well and good. Put one of the L arms there, and the same direction it should come here. It should not be perpendicular. Okay, so not like your velocity diagram. It should be parallel. Same direction it comes here. Now move the scale to B point. A to B I have drawn earlier. Now I am going to do B to C. Same direction. What is same angle I have transferred? What is the direction of this force? The force is in this direction. Okay. So you are going to draw a line in this direction, upward pointing direction, with a magnitude of 45 millimeter. So 45 millimeter, draw a line. Clear? So what did I do? 45 millimeter. So don't talk in centimeters, it will create a lot of confusion. Only millimeters, all dimensions are in mm. Okay. So second, m2 mass direction I have transferred. What did I do? I just took the scale and placed it here. Moved the scale to point B, end of the first vector, second vector starting point. So same angle you have transferred. What is the magnitude you see here? 45. Second m2, 45 kilogram meter. So that 45 you mark here, then draw a line. And direction, upward pointing direction. Clear? Name the endpoint as point C. Clear? Okay. Now the third mass. Put your scale like this and bring it to point C. Okay. So what is the magnitude of the force? 60 kg M3R3. Okay. So mark 60 here. Clear? Now draw the line. What is the arrow mark direction? Same direction. You can look at this angular position diagram. Centrifugal force acts from the center towards the mass, outward pointing force. The same vector, I am just moving it here. It will be like this only, right? This vector is taken, I am just lifting the vector and placing it here. Okay. So therefore the arrow mark will be pointing upwards. It's point D. Okay. So now the remaining fourth one, put your scale like this and bring it to point D. Okay. What is the magnitude of the fourth force? 78. Okay. So I have kept it somewhere around 78. Okay. 78. So your point 0 point is here. Now I can put the dot here. Now that gives me this vector. Put the line, put the point at 0. Now this is 78. draw the line. Now you have to very carefully think about the direction. All the arrows you have drawn till now pointed upwards, but here, where is the mass? The mass is here. Therefore, pull will be outward, towards the mass. So your arrow mark effectively points downwards. Correct? Simple clue. Wherever is the mass, that direction only your arrow should point for that particular force. Okay. So this mass will pull this rod outwards only when you rotate. So this arrow mark is like this. So put an arrow mark like this. You have to always draw this polygon with reference to your angular position diagram. Okay. So arrow mark will point downwards. So can you see, now I have drawn for all the masses in the diagram. The diagram is incomplete. So close the polygon. The closing side of the polygon is your resultant, correct? You have studied this in your mechanics. By polygon law of forces, closing side of the polygon is the resultant and it is opposite in direction. That is your polygon law of forces. So put an opposite direction arrow mark. So clear? So now here, if you go for start from here, the arrow mark points this way. So I am going here and it points this way, and I go here, it points this way. So all the four arrow marks follow the same sense of direction, anti-clockwise. The resultant will be opposing it. Okay, so it should point clockwise. Opposite direction sense. Put the opposite direction sense arrow mark. Now this is my. So what? How did you draw this line? Mass into radius of rotation of m1, mass into radius of rotation of m2, mass into radius of rotation of m3, mass into radius of rotation of m4. Now what is this? Mass into radius of rotation of your balancing mass. So take your scale and measure this. Okay, take your scale, magnitude of the balancing mass, how to calculate. So take your scale and put it here. So if you measure it, it will come around 23 millimeter. It should come. If you do it properly with your all the tools, it will come somewhere around 20 to 24, 25 is okay. Some variation in answer is always allowed for geometrical problems, as we have mentioned in kinematics. It cannot be the same for everybody. Always the pencil sharpness will be different, your scale will be different. Some variation is always, even in the exam it is allowed. So you should get something around 21 to 25. Plus or minus 2 is okay. So 23 is the book answer. So length of this resultant is 23 millimeter. Okay. So therefore that is m into r. Okay. What is the radius of balancing mass given in the question? It is 0.2 meter. 200 millimeter it is given. Okay. So from given data we know that the radius of balancing mass is 0.2 meter. Therefore m into r, balancing mass magnitude. So 23 by 0.2, 115 kilogram is the magnitude of the balancing mass. Okay. So now we are yet to fix the direction. Magnitude you have found out. Okay, there are two answers. What did you get in from the analytical method? Two answers you got. One answer is the value of m. Second answer is your theta. 201 degree you got already. Okay. So 115 kilogram. The same answer I am getting again here in the graphical method also. Now direction. How to find the value of theta? Okay. So direction of the balancing mass in graphical method. To take the same diagram, put your protractor here and measure the angle carefully. Okay. So the angle comes around 21 degree. If you measure carefully, it comes around 21 degree. Right. Now what is the direction? 21 degree direction is the resultant force direction. Okay. Now you have to add 180 degree to that for the balancing mass to put it diametrically opposite, so that whatever is the resultant force, an opposing force is created and it is balanced out. So that is my aim. So I found out the location of the resultant. I am going to cancel it out with the balancing mass in the opposite sense. Okay. So angle of inclination of the resultant force is 21 degree. Okay. Hence angle of inclination of the balancing mass is 180 plus 21. 201. This is 2, not 210. This is 201. Okay. Typing mistake. 201 degree. I'll correct it here itself. Otherwise I'll forget. So 201 degree. Okay. So now we are going to place this in the angular position diagram. 201 degree. Okay. So now take this. Go back to your angular position diagram that is on the left of your force polygon. Magnitude of the balancing mass is 115 kilogram. Direction of the balancing mass is again 201 degree, not 210. So take your protractor. What is 201? Subtract 180 from that, you will get 21 degree. So from 180 again measure 21 here. Okay, approximately. You have put it at 30. The dot is not correct. So you take 21 degree. Okay. So that is your balancing mass M. So just to show you the difference that I have given a color, it is a balancing mass. Okay, mass M 115 kilogram and the angle is 201 degree. The typing mistake I have carried over here. It is 201. Okay, so use it properly. Use your protractor properly. This is 201. So that is the end of the problem. This is the result. So magnitude of the balancing mass, direction of the balancing mass, and you have to position the balancing mass in the angular position diagram finally, and just shade this mass alone so that it looks different. So these are the results. Magnitude of the balancing mass is 115 kilogram. Direction of the balancing mass is 201 degree. Same problem I have solved both by analytical method and graphical method. So from today we are going to solve only graphical method problems. So next problem we are going to see is a dynamic problem. Only one static problem I will solve, right? Static problem will not come in exam. It is not really important. It will come in small problems, some 6 mark or something like that. Dynamic problems involve space between the masses. It is not lying on the same plane. It will lie in different planes. So that is a dynamic problem. It is the procedure is almost similar. Okay, don't worry. So that is the end of your first problem. Okay. So this is taken from your Kurmi textbook example problem 21.1. First example problem.